This is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. There was a shakeup in the NBA yesterday. The New York Knicks dealt Kristaps Porzingis, Courtney Lee, Trey Burke, and Tim Hardaway Jr. to the Mavericks in exchange for DeAndre Jordan, Wes Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., and a pair of first-round picks. Porzingis hasn't played since tearing his ACL early last February. Julius Peppers is retiring from wreaking havoc on NFL quarterbacks. The 39-year-old announced his retirement after 17 NFL seasons. He wrapped up his career with 159.5 sacks, 9 Pro Bowls, and 3 All-Pro nods. And ESPN reported yesterday that the Padres entered the fray for free agent outfielder Bryce Harper. The two sides met in Las Vegas on Thursday. San Diego joins the Phillies, White Sox, and Nationals in teams pursuing the 26-year-old All-Star. It's 6:59. Plan now to watch the big game at Sammy's Restaurant, the best food and drink inside Stone's Gambling Hall, I-80 at Antelope Road. Those are your top stories. Now time for the second hour of the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning, morning, morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
Sean Salisbury returns for his regular Friday appearances at 7:35. We'll have a wagering insider at 8:05 who can help you through all your, well, of course, we don't wager here, so it's kind of an exercise in
seeing how the
education.
other half lives.
From the 916, is it too late to do a Kings got robbed? I might be in on that, true. A lot of people are really going crazy. You know, sometimes in this business you stumble into something and it's a golden moment that you'll remember for a long time. And I think we had one of those moments in the last segment. A lot of people almost running off the road after hearing your Jim Rome impression. People thinking that it was actually a Jim Rome spot.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That is probably the best Jim Rome impression I've ever heard.
I'm feeling patronized.
Damn, Kyle, I thought that was a Rome ad. LOLOL. Kyle, that was excellent. And then somebody compared Kristaps Porzingis to Ralph Sampson. So there's that. Kyle, everyone's warning us to not do an all-star draft. And what does that generally do?
It just
Guarantees
really ensures that we're doing an all-star draft.
We're going to do a draft, and we're going to do it rather quickly.
Oh, you needed names, huh?
That's fine.
Whoops.
I know what, you get what you pay for.
Yep.
So we're going to, it's fine. I'll do it off my sheet.
Well, I need the name, so I'm pulling them up.
Oh, you're going to print them out? All right. So we have the reserves and the starters. Eunice is going to float. Eunice is going to pick a number between 1 and 10 because I don't think we have a coin. And we will pick a number, and then one of us will be LeBron James, whoever wins and gets the number 1 pick. The other person will be Giannis Antetokounmpo, who, by the way, earlier when I said Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic might be the 2 best Euros in the league, yeah, the Giannis guy he's kind of a Euro too. Greek is in Europe last I checked. Greek is in Europe last I checked. That's good job, Dave. So we will pick our teams, and the point of this really is that we're going to put our teams out on Twitter. You can follow us at The Drive 1140, and of course, Kyle A. Madsen spelled as in why you mad son, and at Carmichael Dave, and we'll see who picked the better team. And then we'll probably find a way to bring in some fantasy and wagering aspect into it, knowing us. The reserves were announced yesterday. Nikola Jokic, Ben Simmons, Nikola Vucevic. Wow. I believe this is the first time in NBA history there have been 2 Nikolas on the All-Star team. I'm willing to go with that. I don't think I know Nicholas Skeetish-Vili didn't.
Nikola Bron James and Nikola Dwayne Wade were both All-Stars.
Nikola Dwayne Wade.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Job.
Yep. Thank you.
Chris Middleton making his first appearance as well.
Kristaps Middleton.
Russ Westbrook, Klay Thompson. Somebody was trying to make an argument that Buddy Hield should have made it over Russ Westbrook yesterday to me. Yeah, I know, dude. Westbrook, Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard, Anthony Davis, LaMarcus Aldridge, Karl Anthony Towns. It'll be interesting to see if Anthony Davis plays in the game with his injury situation. Bradley Beal, Victor Oladipo will not play in the game. I gotta remember how this works. Does that mean he needs to be replaced by an Eastern Conference player? I know that's how it used to be, but now with the draft the way it is and the conference is getting mixed up, Oladipo won't play. I'm pretty sure if Adam Silver is allowed to pick an all-star from either conference, and again, I'm hazy on that. I apologize. That's going to go to Rudy Gobert. Because Gobert was your big, in my opinion, your big snub yesterday, and I don't think it's an opinion. And then Blake Griffin and Kyle Lowry. Thank you, Kyle. Now, Eunice, if you would, pick a number in your head between 1 and 10. And, Eunice, I know because you do not speak on the air, here's how we will do it. And, by the way, that's Eunice's choice, not ours. If it was up to us, Eunice would do this entire segment. Kyle.
Eunice can just tell me the number and then we'll guess.
No. You pick a number right now. Eunice, do you thumbs up? Do you have your number in your head? Okay. And we're going to trust Eunice because unlike you and I, Kyle, Eunice does not lie. You pick a number, Kyle, I'll pick a number, and then Eunice, just with your hands, hold up the number, and we'll be good. All right, Kyle, what is your number? You can say it out loud.
8.
8. And I'm going to go with 7 because it's also closest.
Right, that's
to
odds.
You see how that happened? Eunice, what was your number?
7.
Oh, dead on, which means I actually get the first 3 picks of the draft.
Oh.
All
so
right.
are you LeBron?
I am LeBron James.
Okay,
I enjoy
I'm
drinking
Giannis.
Sprite. I enjoy my Nikes.
I'm Giannis. I'm going to Euro step everywhere.
Okay, so LeBron James, who am I picking first? All right, with the first pick in the All-Star Game draft, I will be taking Kevin Durant.
So you have wow, is it because you want him? Is this a recruiting tactic by you?
No comments, except I'll do all my comments when I tamper off the air.
Oh, that's very smart by you.
Kevin Durant is off the board, Kyle.
So I'm Giannis. I would like to play.
By the way, this next pick is going to determine whether or not you win the draft. I'm telling you that right now. If you don't pick the player you need to pick, you lose the entire draft.
Oh, is that right?
That is correct. And I'm even going to write down who you needed to pick, just so it's not a bit. And let's see if you pick him. Go ahead.
See, I'm Giannis, and I like to have fun, so I'm gonna pick people who I think would be fun to play with. I'm gonna pick Stephen Curry.
That's who I thought you would pick. Unfortunately, that is not the correct pick. Now, how are we doing this? Are we doing it just straight you, me, or do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your turn.
The correct pick was James Harden.
Oh, okay.
The correct
pick
was...
but I want to handle the basketball, so I don't want James Harden just out there.
That's fine. I want to win the ball game.
Doing his thing. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to take Anthony Davis next.
I was hoping to get Anthony Davis with my next pick. All right, so Harden is gone.
Anthony Davis and Giannis next to each other is ridiculous.
It is a little bit scary. Okay, so
with Steph running, get out of my life. I'm winning.
Let's see. We'll go Harden, LeBron, Durant. You know what? Give me a little PG-13. I'll take Paul George.
Okay, that's fine. Cool. You want your team to be overrated. Very dope.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's shade by me.
Yeah, it is shade by you.
I'm going to take Kawhi Leonard next.
Wow, Kawhi, would you do that?
Steph next to Kawhi. It doesn't even matter who my fifth guy is. You could put Kyle Madsen as the fifth player on this team.
Okay. I mean, at this point, I'm playing with house money. Give me Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid, very cool. Not sure how you're gonna play. How you're gonna get out and run with Joel Embiid, but whatever.
Yeah, I think I'll figure it out somehow.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Give me. Let's see. I need a wing. A wing. Give me. Dude, give me Clay. Going home. Going homer pick.
Oh, this is just it's one of those like he's already dead type of things. Let's see.
Are you really letting James Harden be your primary ball handler?
Oh, I absolutely am
Okay.
not. I absolutely am not. That will go to my former future teammate, Kyrie Irving.
Very smart.
Yeah.
See, Kyrie is a great all-star because he's a baller. Like, he gets out there, he gets it done. I'm a huge fan. For that same reason, I don't want to pick Karl Anthony Towns because I feel like he's kind of like my perception of him has been tainted by Jimmy Butler.
You said tainted.
Yeah, I did. Give me... I'm trying to build an actual team now. Give me Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
Not enough shooting.
Now, please keep in mind, everybody, we're not following traditional rules by picking from the starter pool first, and then we're just picking straight across.
Right.
So far, my team is LeBron James, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Kyrie Irving, whereas Kyle has Giannis, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, Klay Thompson, and now Ben Simmons, leaving me with, man, I'm just building my backcourt here. That's going to give me Russ Westbrook.
Dude, you have Russell Westbrook and James Harden on the same team. You have two black holes on offense.
Well, hey, first off, they're not going to play much together.
Oh, okay,
See,
cool.
I need Russ to anchor my second unit.
Somebody
Somebody said earlier I should have gone with Westbrook. LOL. I knew I'd get him for value later.
Yeah, no, for sure. Give me Nikola Jokic, man.
I was hoping he'd last one more round. That was a
just
little bit
Jokic. Anybody who can go get me 20, 10, and 5, like that's ridiculous. Give me Jokic.
Okay.
Doesn't play much defense, but that's fine. We'll figure that out.
Then I'm going to need, because I have Embiid, I'm going to need another big man. You can give me Karl Anthony Towns here.
Really strong value.
By the way, this draft already better than the one the Lowdown did.
2,000% better at least.
Because we have a plan.
You took Kyrie Irving.
I did.
And you took him way too early because you can get basically the same player right now, and I'm going to do that and take Kemba Walker.
Oh, same exact player.
Basically the same player.
Basically exactly the same. Oh gosh, let's see. What do we have left?
There's a correct pick here. Let's see if you make it.
My backcourt is awesome. I have Towns and Embiid as my centers. I'm tempted to do one thing here, but I'm not. Let's just have some fun. What time is it, Kyle?
We have
wrong answer. It's Dame time.
Dame time. Strong, but we do have 1 minute.
Yeah.
Give me Bradley Beal. That's my guy.
All right. Give me
Brad Beal.
Let's do a lightning round here.
Yep.
Also, give me Blake Griffin.
Okay.
I'm just going to dunk all over you constantly.
Not if I have Nikola Vucevic standing in the middle.
Vooch.
I have both Nicolas, by the way.
Yes, you do. I don't want that.
I like it, dude. I like how LaMarcus Aldridge is just sitting there because nobody wants him.
I don't want him. I don't want him at all. I'll take him, though, but I don't want him.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to take D'Angelo Russell. What? He's not on this board? He will be once they replace Victor Oladipo with him.
All right, give me Chris Middleton.
And so I wind up with Kyle Lowry.
You wind up with Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry, the final pick. Let's go over our teams next segment.
Yeah, next segment we'll go. How we do that in 4-down territory?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, let's. I say we go over our teams. We'll reset these teams in a couple of minutes before Sean Salisbury comes on.
Okay.
At 7:30. We'll take a break.
I guarantee my team is going to win our Twitter poll.
I don't think it's going to happen. No, but I think we should do Team A and Team B.
Yeah, we have to.
We'll do Team A and Team B.
Yep.
Drive
we gotta go right now.
Drive continues next. Sports 1140 KFC.
17 years ago.
Hey. Somebody on the text line. We got a lot of people on the text line into this draft. We almost ready with that list?
Oh, yeah.
All right. If you get a chance, just.
It's printed.
Okay, then just snapshot it and screenshot it and put it on the Drive's Twitter account, and then I'll retweet it. Somebody's going to put the teams in 2K, let them play, see who wins.
Oh, nice.
Let us know there.
It's a great idea.
And then somebody also had an idea. You should add up the actual points each of your picks have in the All-Star game and see whose team wins.
That's a great idea.
Very interesting. 4-down territory brought to you by Firewing. I was at Firewings yesterday. Very important note. The big game is this Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Fire Wings is being inundated, and rightfully so, with orders for people who are entertaining for the for the whatever it's called.
The big game.
The big game. Thank you.
The football game.
Thank you. So here's what they want you to do. Go to firewings.com, and you'll see a little pop-up will come up that will say, place your order now for the big game. Get in there, place your order, place your pickup time, and then all you got to do, when people are coming over, when you want the wings, the garlic noodles, the fries, whatever you order, and then you just swing by Fire Wings, grab your wings, and then you're the life of the party. So get in there now because they are being destroyed by these orders, but they'll have everything ready for you. You just got to do it right, okay? So go to firewings.com and make it happen, Cap.
Yeah, don't roll in day of.
No.
Kickoffs at what,
3:30. Yeah, it's
3:30. Don't roll in there at 3 and go, I need 100 wings.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to work out.
Not going to work. All right, we're into the death throes of 4-down territory. One more week left before we switch to 3 for madness. First down, Kyle.
Will a win or loss change the legacy of Brady and Belichick?
The legacy. The key here is change. No, it won't change it. It will add to or slightly take away from it. If Tom Brady ends up being 5-4 in Super Bowls versus 6-3,
right,
that's a difference. And
sure.
people will talk about that, and instead of saying, "Oh, he's got 3." Here's what will happen if the Patriots lose this weekend. The big thing is going to be Tom Brady has as many losses in the Super Bowl as Joe Montana has wins.
Right.
Tom Brady has as many losses as the Bills had. It won't change it, Kyle, but it will add or subtract a little bit.
Yeah, I think that the narratives will run for their couple of days. I don't think it can add to it, really. I think they're pretty much established as the best coach-quarterback duo of all time. The only way I think it gets subtracted from is if they just get blown out and Tom Brady looks old and Bill Belichick gets out-coached. Like, that's the only way, and people go, oh, man, maybe they let this go 1 year too long.
So you don't think the ability to say that there is no franchise in NFL history that has as many rings or has more rings than Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, you don't think that that's a little bit of a difference?
I mean, I guess so, but I think people's minds are made up.
I agree with you. Second down.
Second down.
The Rams win Sunday if
They score more points, idiot.
All right, third down.
I think the Rams win on Sunday if they don't let the spotlights get to them. I think the Rams are the more talented team on both sides of the ball. I think if Sean McVay doesn't crap the bed versus Bill Belichick, I think if Jared Goff doesn't stare into the lights and get blinded, I think the Rams are the more talented team. But as you and I both know, Kyle, it's not just talent. It's the ability to perform under pressure. It's the ability to stick to the game plan and execute that game plan. I think if they're able to do that, they'll come away with the win.
I think they win Sunday if Todd Gurley can get going, because when Todd Gurley is going, that offense is borderline unstoppable. And that's how they're going to have to win. It'll allow them to control the clock. It'll allow them to do whatever they want offensively. And I'm not sure the Patriots will have an answer for that.
Third down.
Third down.
The Pats win Sunday if...
Well, I'll go based on my answer for the Rams. I think the Patriots will win Sunday if they do their job. And I'm borrowing from Bill Belichick there. I think if they're able to play a semi-flawless game, and if they're able to frustrate the Rams and send them scrambling a little bit and put a little bit of panic in the back of their heads. Now, I believe in, what were we talking about? 8 Super Bowls. Every single one has been within 8 points. I think I read that correctly. I think in 8 Super Bowls, last year versus Philadelphia was the only time they scored in the first quarter, and that was a field goal. So generally, they're not going to come out of the gate strong. This could very easily, I think the Rams have to have a touchdown to a 2-touchdown lead going into the second quarter to win this ball game. I think if the Patriots are able to keep this 7-3, 3-3, 0-0 going into the second quarter, I think they win the ball game, and that's what they need to focus on.
Yeah, they have to find ways to get the stops they couldn't get last year against the Eagles. I think they had to have learned something from last season in terms of what the Eagles did to them horizontally and then breaking them over the top. They can't let the Rams do that same thing. So I think if if they can keep the Rams from getting horizontal, I think, and make sideline to sideline,
Sure,
and make Jared Goff beat them, I think they win.
Fourth down.
Fourth down.
Who will win the Super Bowl this Sunday?
We haven't said a pick all week, and it's not easy.
No.
I've waffled back and forth, but
I have pancaked.
The time has come. Have you French toast?
No, I'm doing that right now.
I have beignet. I have also creped. I creped the
I
bed.
I crepe once a morning.
Here's the deal. Much like Todd Gurley's cats. In the end, I'm going to, no pun intended, in the end, I'm going to dance with the girl that got us here. The team that has 5 Super Bowl championships, the team that has been there 8 times versus the team that, let's be honest, is there for the first time. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it will be back and forth. In the end, I think the Patriots will come away with the victory. I'm going to go 35-31 New England.
I'm going to take the Rams. All week I was saying I'm going with the Pats. I'm just going with the Pats. But there's this weird feeling I'm getting that Sue and Donald are going to be able to make enough plays and their offense is going to figure it out. And the Rams come away with a 34-31 win.
Wow, I said 35-31 Pats. You say 34-31 Rams?
Yeah.
Real quick, who does Jim Rome think's going to win?
You give me. I'm not betting against the hood. I'm not betting against Brady. If you want to do that, clones, that's fine. But I'm not going to wake up Monday morning regretting once again doubting that Brady and Belichick are the GOATs, because they are.
Final score?
Give me Patriots 28, Rams 27.
How much take us to break, Jim? Yeah. We're back with Sean Salisbury on The Drive, Sports 1140 KHTK.
This is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. The New York Knicks traded 23-year-old star Kristaps Porzingis along with Courtney Lee, Trey Burke, and Tim Hardaway Jr. to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for DeAndre Jordan, Wes Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., and a pair of first-round picks. Porzingis hasn't played since tearing his ACL early last February. Julius Peppers announced his retirement from the NFL today. The 39-year-old played 17 NFL seasons. He had 159.5 sacks, 9 Pro Bowl appearances, and he made 3 All-Pro teams. And ESPN reported yesterday that the Padres entered the fray for free agent outfielder Bryce Harper. The two sides met in Las Vegas on Thursday. San Diego joins the Phillies, White Sox, and Nationals among teams pursuing the 26-year-old Austin. It's 7:32. Plan now to watch the big game at Sammy's Restaurant, the best food and drink inside Stone's Gambling Hall, I-80 at Antelope Road. Those are your top stories. Now back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
It's The Drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Sean Salisbury in a couple minutes. You can go to The Drive's Twitter account or mine. Actually put a poll. You can't put a poll and a picture in the same tweet. So I quote tweeted the poll, or the picture, excuse me, and then put a poll underneath it for the All-Star teams Kyle and I drafted in the last hour, or earlier this hour.
I think really even teams. I feel like last year when we did this, your team was way better than mine.
Yeah.
But this year I feel like they're pretty even.
My starting lineup, I was thinking about this during the break. I'm going to go Kyrie Irving, James Harden, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. They're interchangeable, and Joel Embiid.
You think LeBron and KD are interchangeable?
I mean, I think in this situation, they're, I don't think LeBron's going to be playing exclusively at the 3. I think everyone's going to be moving around. Off the bench, Paul George, Damian Lillard, Karl Anthony Towns, LaMarcus Aldridge, Chris Middleton, Blake Griffin, and Russ Westbrook. I like how you put Russ Westbrook last for me.
Yeah, that was on purpose.
I know, exactly.
I didn't do him in any specific order except putting Russell Westbrook last.
Yeah, I saw that. That is not where he was picked. Kyle, your starters will be who?
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be my starters. I think I'm going to go Ben Simmons, Bradley Beal, and Nikola Jokic off the bench. You can mix Kemba Walker in there a little bit. You can put Vucevic in when you need a little bit of size.
Now, help me out. I think I know the answer here, but because everything is mixed up now with the players being drafted, is Adam Silver forced to pick an Eastern Conference player to replace Oladipo still, or is he allowed to pick one from either conference?
No, it has to be an Eastern.
It still has to be an
because
Eastern
it's equal reps.
Yeah, that's
they
unfortunate.
Just picked to different teams.
That should be Gobert's spot. Maybe Anthony Davis doesn't play and he puts Gobert in there.
Oh, that would stink for me.
Well, you would just get Gobert. That's how it would work. I'm not necessarily sure that on this particular team, Gobert's not the better player for you. You got enough offense.
Yeah, but Anthony Davis is a defensive player of the year.
Who's a better defensive player?
Anthony Davis.
Is a better defensive player than Rudy Gobert.
Yes.
You're smoking.
He can defend. No, I'm not. He can defend the perimeter. I have watched Anthony Davis lock up perimeter guys. I've watched Rudy Gobert get turned into a pretzel on the perimeter.
Have you taken any look at have you looked at their TPA or win shares?
No.
Yeah, you should. Rudy Gobert is insane. Have you looked at Utah's plus minus when he's on and off the floor?
No.
Have you looked at their defense?
Have you watched Anthony Davis?
Yes.
Though? He's incredible defensively.
He'll end up playing 3 minutes, and then someone will step on his toe. Rudy Gobert is a war horse. Well,
except he missed like a ton of time to start the year.
That's true. All right, Sean Salisbury is ready to go. We'll talk to him about the Super Bowl. I'm sure Sean will have thoughts on Anthony Davis and Kristaps Porzingis. Sean has thoughts on everything. One quick note before we bring Sean on. I'm very tempted. You know, we try to stay away from politics, and this isn't really politics, but it is. I'm really tempted next week to have one of our friends from Sonics Gate, the guys who made the Sonics documentary, Jason Reed and all those guys that we become friends with over the years. I'm really tempted to have one of them on. Howard Schultz is running for president, the head of Starbucks, and the guy who sold off the Sonics to Clay Bennett, who moved him to Oklahoma City. Howard Schultz had an appearance in Seattle yesterday that predictably did not go well. And the Sonics Gate guys were there handing out DVDs. I bet you sales have gone through the roof for that thing since Schultz announced. So it's like, I don't want to get into the politics end of it.
Yikes.
But just imagine if the Kings had left for Seattle and the Maloofs had scammed Sacramento even crazier, like how Schultz did with Seattle. And then Gavin was running for president and had an appearance in Sacramento last night. Like, just let that roll through your head.
Yeah, read the room, guy.
A little bit. And, you know, if I'm Howard Schultz, we had to Sean here. If I'm Howard Schultz and somebody says, hey, what would you say to Sonics fans who you want to vote for you? My response would be, I would say nothing. I'm not getting their vote, and I get it. And if this makes them feel better to not vote for me, if I win the presidency, it's going to have to be without the state of Washington. I get that. Let's move on. Joining us right now, here's a guy that could run for president if he wanted to. I'll tell you what, those stump speeches would be amazing. The one, the only, our dear friend returning after a week off. My fault, not his, Sean Salisbury. Good morning, Sean.
How you doing, man? Yeah, no, I don't want that gig. I don't know why anybody would want that gig. It's just, who you can never be right. Now, my speeches would be off the hook.
Yes, they would.
But then after I won, I'd say, nah, I don't want it. You guys go ahead.
What is it like? What I think the president doesn't he make like $400,000 a year? And I'd love $400,000 a year. Don't get me wrong, but
yes.
That seems relatively low for a president.
You think? You think that government official who's got the free world on his hands and on his head should make maybe a little bit more for the job? But there's the key in it. See, they pay you. It's the pay me now or pay me later.
Right.
You know, the Fram oil filter old school commercials. But on the $400,000 you get on the front end, which isn't much to be the president of the United States, obviously.
Sure.
But it's after you're done.
Yep.
That you go like you walk into a building and they pay you $1 million to speak to them for 20 minutes at a college.
Right.
That's where you make up on the back, and you do 30 of those a year, and you tell everybody else to kiss your ass. So the rest is good.
Sean, you can hear Sean 1 to 4 p.m. our time out of Houston. You can check it out on the Sports Talk 790 iHeart app. Sean, are you? Forgive me. Are you at Radio Row this year or no?
Yeah, sure. I've been here since Tuesday. Yep. I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go back, and I like watching the game in my confines of my home so I can study it and watch it. But yeah, I've been here all week. Yep. Today will be our last day.
Well, apologies because we decided to not make the trip to Atlanta this year.
I get it. I understand,
dude. It's so funny. We were playing a clip earlier from Mike Francesa, from Mike and the Mad Dog. He's out there on Radio Row, and he was saying last week, everybody goes out there and is hawking something, and we don't play like that. And then the next part of the clip was him talking to 6 different athletes, hawking jock itch cream and all kinds of stuff. It is the way it is, though. And I'm curious, did you ever have to be on the other end where you were being shuttled around? For people who haven't been on Radio Row, it really is a circus.
Yep. When I was as a player. No, because they didn't really.
Wasn't the same.
I didn't have 8. I didn't have 4. And I didn't have 4 rings to flash around. And wasn't Super Bowl MVP. But at ESPN, when I was doing television, all those years, yes, they would have you go around and had you scheduled. And if you had a product that you had endorsed, during the year or what have you. But yes, that was what do they call them? Their handlers or their people? Yes, and PR, and they'd set up, and you'd do a ton of them. And you would have, honestly, when I was doing television, you'd get there when it wasn't when you weren't doing NFL Live or Sports Center, and you'd get there and you'd spend the better part of your day when you weren't on doing your own job of being on 35 shows. So I would probably say, during the week you'd go and do 60 to 70 shows or more for those 5. And we were there like 8 days early because we had to. Not Radio Row wasn't set up. We were there early because they'd set up the set. We'd start doing it like championship weekend. We'd start doing Sports Center like on a Saturday or Sunday the week before, when it was at times when it was after the bye week, or when they used to have it when the bye week was together. We didn't have a bye week. It was boom, championship. They did that for a while too, but we'd go in, for instance, during the bye week, and we'd go in on a Saturday or Sunday, and we'd stay for 8 days and then do the post Super Bowl stuff as well. So yeah, I've had it, but now, I haven't had it where it was like, this is one product, you go like you're doing tequila or something. Right. Not like that, but had it because people wanted to your insight for the game. Now,
have you noticed a difference, though, and listen, Houston's a huge market compared to Sacramento, but I was also talking about this earlier. When you were doing stuff for Sports Center, every single top flight person rolled through there. Is it a little different for you guys, even though you're in a large market? ESPN gets everyone. Do you guys find yourselves having to and by the way, you're also an ex-NFL player who knows a ton of people, but do you still have to have a guy out there trailing the handlers begging for people?
You know what? I've been pretty lucky and fortunate with that because of the relationship.
Sure.
Is they'll set them up, and guys all call and say, whether it's Kenny Mayne or something. Any of those guys that are my friends or that I know, they can call and talk to their PR person or my producer a month leading up to it or 3 weeks. And then when we're here, I think we did it once, and I yelled at him. Kenny Mayne was walking by, he'd done something. I was actually on the air, and I yelled. I said, "Hey, Mayne, get your butt over here." And he came over. We talked for 20 minutes, and he's so engaging and so fun and such a talent. But yeah, of course, when you're doing that, PR, the biggest stars in the world, PR people would come. It's like Nick Saban. Yep. I'm not saying me. I'm talking about the brand ESPN. It was like Nick Saban. He didn't have to, at Alabama now. They recruit you. The players come and recruit you. I want to go to Alabama. So, well, he's a great recruiter at ESPN. All those people, like you'd be there, and they'd bring Dwayne Wade over. And it wasn't just football guys. It was all the celebrities. You know what I'm saying? So you got easy access to all of that. And it is different now. But the relationships have given me an opportunity to still get great guests because they're friends, and you do what you do for friends. But, yeah, every now and then you still got to scramble around. But we were fortunate. We didn't have a handler scrambling around, sitting out waiting for a guy to walk off one and go to the other. We didn't have to do that this year, so it was pretty cool.
Sean Salisbury joining us. Sean, we haven't talked in a couple weeks, actually, and I know you've gone over this ad nauseum. So I'm sure you've got an answer cocked and loaded. If you're Roger Goodell, what do you do, if anything, about the referees in the Saints game?
Well, I don't. You know what? First of all, the humiliation that crew's going through. You can't miss those calls.
Sure.
I mean, that one in particular, we're going to miss them. Human error takes place, but that was so blatant. We asked. I mean, to get to that point in an NFC Championship game to be an officiating crew, you have had to grade out well during the year, and so they got the call and they missed it. He missed it, and he's going to pay for it one way or the other. I don't know if I'd suspend him, but maybe you give him different games. He may not be working with the top crew, and that crew may not. So I don't know what Roger's going to do, but the humiliation that crew's facing already in the last 2 weeks, that's going to be plenty. I mean, people know. Isn't it crazy? We know the names of officials and referees now.
Yep.
People didn't used to with social media. Now we know them. I would like him to have to address the media. I would, just like the players do. But if you're Roger Goodell and, of all the things he's done self-inflicted that have been a problem that we've ripped him for, I'm not real sure what he has to gain. And I know he waited while people just want to know that the CEO of the league is watching and paying attention. I think that's what Saints fans crave, to acknowledge it. Even though they may not like what he was going to say, I think they wanted a quicker response. But really, what did he have to gain from that? What did he have to gain from going, yeah, we screwed it up. We're going to suspend the guys for 8 weeks, and because they won't get the game back. They're not going to replay the game. But I do understand their plight and why they're frustrated. And the commissioners made some mistakes along the way, so we kind of put them all into accumulation and throw them in. As far as what they need to do moving forward, that's the next thing. You can apologize and tell them, yeah, we screwed up. We all know the guy missed the call. We screwed up. We're going to fix it. We're going to hire all full-time refs. I think 5 of them are full-time in this Super Bowl out of the 7 guys. I think 5 of them are full-time, which isn't the normal. It's like 2 or 3. So make them all full-time. I don't know. Are we going to replay pass interference? The key is people have to remember Roger Goodell is not the competition committee.
Right.
The Sean Paytons, the Mike Tomlins, the John Elways, those guys, Rich McKay, they're the ones who sit on it. I mean, so if we got a problem, then they're the ones this offseason need to sit down and say, here's what we got to do so this doesn't happen again. Because unfortunately they missed it. It cost the Saints. But I'm going to say it like I always do. That was the most heinous of errors by an official. But I promise you with all my heart, there were situations in the game that they could have kept themselves out of that situation where that call wouldn't have been the difference in the game.
Right.
It's just the last one, and the visual and the optics are horrible. But the New Orleans Saints, you bounce a slant route on first down, it stops the clock when you could have run it and kicked 3, kicked field goal, time's almost out. You couldn't get red zone touchdowns early in the game. I mean, there's a whole lot of problems that went on, but it's heinous because everybody, now the fans, if you're the Rams, it's a bummer because we're making it sound like they're not legitimate. They don't belong in the Super Bowl. Well, that play, they've still played really good football all year long and played really good football in that game. So it's a bummer, and maybe the Rams will be hungry and pissed because nobody for the 2 weeks gave them credit for the win. Now they're saying that they can beat the Patriots. Some people are, but everybody's saying, well, they're the third team. They shouldn't be there. Well, the Rams shouldn't think like that. It's not their fault. The ref made a bad call, but there were other calls in the game that could have been changed as well.
Sean Salisbury with us. Sean, when I was 33, I just had my first child, and I was working a 9 to midnight shift in the Sacramento radio. When you were 33, you know what you were doing. I know what both of us weren't doing was getting ready to coach a team in the Super Bowl. And you're talking about a guy in Sean McVay who's exactly half the age of Bill Belichick. Is that to you likely to make a difference in this ball game?
I mean, either way, good or bad.
Good or bad, yes.
Yeah, that's a hell of a question. I've asked this question to guests this week, and I've asked it to myself on the air and out loud. Thought it is, this is not just another game. We as athletes have always tried to put ourselves, it's just another game once the ball snapped. But it's not. 100+ million people are watching. Everything it's life-changing, good or bad. Lives have been. Ask Scott Norwood about the bad part. Ask guys like Troy Aikman about the good part. It's life-changing. It just is. Not for everybody, but for a lot of them, it can be a life-changing moment, and it sometimes can be overwhelming. You listen to guys that have played in the past talk about, the morning of or when you're going, you start to hyperventilate. This isn't just a normal game. Every single thing you do, and then you ask yourself, am I prepared? did I do everything the last 2 weeks? And Sean McVay, hey, players choke and are heroes. Coaches do the same, choke and are heroes. We've seen it, just like officials do. So I don't think when it comes to the X's and O's, I don't think Sean Payton's going to be over. I mean, Sean McVay.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, Sean McVay's that Sean name, man. It's amazing. Great coaching, great spelled right too.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be overwhelmed. I think he's proven that to us because he's got football in his blood. It's been in his blood his whole life, and he's done enough for us to prove that we haven't. They belong, and he belongs, and he's really good. But this is different. You got the GOAT coach standing across from you. You got the GOAT quarterback standing across from you. Every move you make, if you make 3 mistakes, it could be the difference in the game. Bad play call on 3rd down. What are you going to do on 4th and 2 at the 33 going in? Do you kick a field goal and hope Zerline knocks it in? Or do you go for it and have the guts? The Doug Peterson showed us last year. He wasn't overwhelmed by his calls. So I think that's the important part for Sean. I don't think that Bill has the advantage. He's been to 9 of them. But I don't think the X's and O's that Sean's going to be, overwhelmed, McVay is with this. But it's going to get down to just like the players, and David, I'm telling you this, 6 to 8 plays a game. 6 to 8 plays a game where the player, jump off sides. That's what decides the game. It's not going to be one. It's not going to be, and now one may stand out on a play or a fake punt or a double reverse, but it won't just be one. And so, Sean, it's the coaching staff. It's the same way. It's the same way. Well, man, what do I do? Decisions that a coach has to make in those moments of, oh, my gosh, it's 30, 28, 29, and he's also the play caller and the head coach. So I think X's and O's will be fine. But I do beg the question is, can it be overwhelming if you get down? Because no matter what, even though he's a football guy and poised and a great coach, he's still 33. It's still his first Super Bowl. And it's a different atmosphere and a different game, and this is home for the Patriots and for Bill Belichick. I can't wait to see the old experienced guy, quarterback and coach, against the young guys who've never been here and see if the overwhelming part does kick in.
Sean, we're out of time. I forget that we have a TV simulcast now. I was just flipping my laptop around to show Kyle. I was bringing Sean McVay and his bio up. I must be the only guy on earth that hasn't seen this. Have you it's good to be Sean McVay. Have you ever looked up who his significant other is?
I have.
My,
yeah, it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck to be him.
Not.
Hey, go win a Super Bowl, and
I kind of don't like him now.
Yeah. Well, no, you should love him. You should love him. Hang on. I'll talk to you guys. I'm finished this. What floor are you on? I'm sorry about that. That was Josh Ennis who said something. Yeah, I apologize. He asked me a question. I dude, it's good to be him.
Yeah,
in LA with her. Yeah, it's not a bad gig. Yeah, he won't be. He won't. I got news for you. Stay focused, Sean. Stay focused.
Right? Wow. Yeah. Yes. All right. Lastly, I know you got to go. Give me a final score and a winner.
34-30 Patriots.
So I had
indoor fat. What do you have?
I had 35-31 Patriots. Kyle had 34-31, I believe. Rams. God, that's the only 3 predictions we've had on the show today. They're all the same.
High scoring, 34-30. I guess the emotional part of me wants to see Brady down 3.
Sure.
With 1:10 to go and go down and win. But I think it's going to be a hell of a football game. I don't think either. I mean, the Rams are more talented, but the Patriots are the Patriots, and every time they're the team that's got less talent, they seem to make everybody go, whoa, they're not done yet. So it'll be a great watch, and I can't wait, man. But I got the Patriots, and if they score 34 points, Brady's probably the MVP. But keep an eye on Gronkowski. More than likely his last game, and he may go out with a big bang. Don't be surprised if they feature him and try to create big mismatch problems. And I think this will be his last game.
He's the best in the business. Sports Talk 790. Check out their iHeart app. You can hear Sean Pacific time 1 to 4 p.m. Go tell that big mouth Ennis you're doing a radio show, okay, when we're done. Yeah. Have some respect for you. Jeez.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
We'll see you next week, buddy. Take care.
All right, have a great one.
All right, that's Sean Salisbury. We'll take a break. When we come back, who are we having on, Kyle, when we get back?
Payne from the Bet the Board podcast.
It sounds like a wrestler.
Payne. Payne Insider on Twitter.
Is that? Are we just going with the one name?
That's it. I asked it, and that's it. He's like, that's my name.
Payne. From where?
He's from Bet the Board podcast.
Bet the Board podcast.
Yeah, you can find him at PayneInsider.com and also Payne Insider on Twitter. He's a fun guy to talk.
Okay,
to talk,
this is your bookie.
Sports wagering with.
Hey, I'm with you. That's all we want.
It is my bookie.
Guy could call himself, Bluegill. I don't care. Whatever his name is, does not matter.
Bluegill.
I was thinking of a fish. I don't know. The drive's back. I don't know, dude. The drive will continue with Payne, followed by Coors Light Cold Hard Facts.
Do you want me to isolate that?
The bluegill part?
No. Not. Oh my gosh! I get Clubber Lang going Payne.
Yeah. Just what's your prediction? Payne. My goodness. We'll take.
I still need to watch.
You know what? For the guy that's getting on,
I have two Rocky movies left to watch.
There's one guy getting on me for objectifying Sean McVay's goal. Sean McVay, not Sean Payton. Thank you, Sean McVay's goal. Get out. Get out of my face. Go look it up. She's an attractive woman. I'm going to say she's an attractive woman. If that offends you, then you probably needed to be offended. Get out of my face with that. What a weirdo. Golly. That's a drive. Sports 1140. That pisses me off. KHTK.